So I'm here with the wonderful Jules Galloway. And if anyone embodies the spirit of our Women in the New World Symposium, it's Jules. We set this up for women who are at the intersection of health, research, and business. And that pretty much describes who Jules is. So Jules, thank you so much for agreeing to come to Hobart with us in October.
I am so excited about this. Like, how could I say no? Seriously, this is the best thing ever.
I'm so glad you said that, because when we first started talking about the symposium, your name was pretty much the first one that came up. And how could we host something like this and not have Jules? So I'm so glad that you didn't consider saying no. It's wonderful. You're pretty much the poster girl. So it's very exciting to have you. And
oh, the pressure.
Whenever I talk to anyone about coming to the symposium, one of the first things they always say is, and I can't wait to see Jules. So it really, the energy that you will bring to this, is something that I can't wait to witness. And I'm looking forward to introducing you to practitioners who haven't come across you before as well. And for that rare person, can you please give me a little background of who you are and what you do?
Well, I've been a naturopath for 16 years and I've been in the wellness industry for about 20 years, but there's so much more than that. I currently work in clinic still, and I also do mentoring. Like, I'm seeing clients 2 days a week, and I love working on complex cases and doing the detective work to get to the bottom of the people who've been chronically ill for a long time. So I love a bit of nerding out. I love a bit of science, but then I've also got a foot equally in the woo-woo camp, as do many naturopaths. Yes. And I love finding that balance in life and in my practice. And I also do mentoring of other prackies, but then I just happen to do a bunch of other stuff as well. So like, I do speaking, and I've got a podcast, and I don't know, like I like having my finger in lots of pies and popping up and like inspiring people and giving them a bit of a G up, and helping naturopaths and practitioners in general to be more confident and more outspoken in their clinic and in their marketing. So yeah, I love speaking, and I'm so excited about what you've brought together, because it does really bring together a lot of those different aspects. But then also I'm a bit naughty, and I've got a bit of a checkered past, and I've got some pretty wild stories to tell if you feed me a couple of gins, I don't know, on the Saturday night. So yeah, I like to think that I sprinkle a little bit of something in there to make life a bit more interesting. So I think maybe I'm not your typical naturopath.
Right now is just instantly upgrading their regular ticket to the VIP ticket so they can come and have gin with Jules while she spills all the tea, right?
Something like that.
I was going to say, actually, I've heard you describe yourself before as a kind of a reformed or former wild child, and it's really, basically, how did you get from being a wild child party girl to being the pin-up girl for naturopathy? Tell me a little bit about the last 20 years.
They let me into the group somehow without checking my backstory. I don't know, I was homeless when I was 16, and then I was a stripper when I was 19, right through to 29. And in that little time there, I was also a rave party DJ. Like, I did a lot of things. So no one checked the resume fully when they let me into this industry. I'm pretty sure.
100% read your memoir.
It's a coming one day. So yeah, there's a lot of life experience. And even once I became a naturopath, I went and did some work in drug and alcohol rehab. And I like that edginess that you can find in life. And I like people who've got interesting stories to tell. I was talking with a lady on a podcast just a few days ago, and she actually said, she goes, I would prefer to speak to the naturopath who's got that wild backstory. She goes, it's like, she knows a yoga teacher, a really amazing yoga teacher who used to be like a massive intravenous drug user and had a wild backstory. And she's like, these people are interesting, and they bring something to the table because they've lived a life, and then they can have more empathy and more compassion for a wide group of people without judging people. So I like to show people that even if you've come from like a slightly more conservative or normal background in life, like you can, you can learn to understand and accept and have empathy and compassion for people who haven't maybe lived the type of life that you would have chosen for
And
yourself.
there's such authenticity in that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's, it's good when you find people who've got these crazy backstories, who've gone on to do some pretty good things in the world, because then you can realize that you're not defined by your past, that no one is defined by their past. They're defined by what they're choosing to do right now, really. And that's all that we have, is this moment. And sometimes you don't know what people have got in their past that they're hiding because they don't think it's okay to speak about it in the industry. And I have come across other practitioners in our industry who have got crazy backstories, who haven't revealed them yet because they're worried about judgment. They're worried about all of that. But I think it's great to understand that in our industry, we've got lots of different people coming from lots of backgrounds and lots of facets, some very conservative, some very not, and everything in between. And that we can all come together under a common cause.
I was going to say, I love how this is now beautifully segued into the title of the presentation you'll be giving at our symposium, which is Why Collaboration Shits All Over Competition, which I also happen to love. I love a little sneaky swear word in there as well. How did you come up with that title, and what kind of informed your passion to speak about this?
I think that we have come to a point in our industry where there's been too much niggle and there's been too much, stuff being flung at the opposition. There's too many people promoting the idea or the concept that we need to pick a side and pick what sort of naturopath we are, or what sort of practitioner we are. Like, are we the ones who are moderate, or are we ones that are really hardline? And like, there's, within our industry, there's so many little subsets of beliefs. But what I've seen over COVID in the last couple of years is people really feeling like they had to pick a team and really stick to that. And then I was starting to see niggle between these teams. And that is no good for our industry, because like, our industry as a whole needs to stick together, and we're stronger when we stick together. And what I was seeing is this segmentation that is really not healthy for anyone. So we need to get back to finding these common causes and these common beliefs and these common drivers. Like, we all are in this industry, I believe, because we wanted to make a difference and help people and to create healthier communities. And so if we find common ground and we learn to work together and collaborate on these things, it's going to be better. And not just naturopaths with other naturopaths, but I'm talking like naturopaths and doctors, naturopaths and dietitians. Oh my God, like that's unheard of.
Yes,
Nurses and naturopaths. Pharmacy. Yeah, like
we're all united in our common aim to help people and see the best outcome for the person who needs our help. Why do we need to scrap like puppies about it? Basically.
Exactly. And if we stopped looking at our differences and started looking for the things that we share in common, we can actually find ways of doing things and collaborating together that's actually going to create better outcomes for the client. And at the end of the day, it should be about that. So I've got this utopian idea in my head that like, I want everyone to like come together and play nice, but I've actually lived it. Like, I've seen examples where this works. Like, I've worked for an organization that sends volunteers over to Fiji and Vanuatu and Samoa, and we sent teams. And in those teams, we would have people from all these different health paradigms and belief systems. And we all came together and we found common threads and we made it work.
And I helped the people who needed the help.
Exactly. And that makes everybody feel good.
Yeah. Well, I think everyone is going to feel very good hearing your presentation, and very good dancing with you with the cocktails on the Saturday night. Having a look at the incredible lineup of the most amazing women we have coming to the symposium with us. Who are you most excited to see? Who's got you on the edge of your seat with anticipation?
Lordy, there's so many. Okay. Yeah. So like, Tammy, always going to be a winner, like always good. I need my top up of Tammy. I haven't had any Tammy for a couple of years. Okay. Leah, haven't seen her speak for, I reckon, 4 or 5 years, and she's incredible. And quite like you watch, she's kind of got this dry sense of quirky humor as well. Watch out for that. Leah is amazing, but her science brain,
I know.
You are going to love. You're going to like you and her, like you'll be best buddies by the end of this. Carla is incredible and brings like this amazing energy to any conference that she speaks at. And I know she shares the same sorts of views on our industry as I do. And that's why she's there. Like we are all there because we all have this belief. Kira, like I'm very much looking forward to seeing Kira. There's also a few that I think we haven't seen so much before in our industry, like Lydia and Sage. Like these people, like watch out for these dark horses. Like these are the ones to watch out for. Like you're going to learn a lot from them, like about things like inclusivity and diversity. And like I'm really excited about that as well, actually, because I think that's something that, again, like everybody, like whether it's pharmacists or nurses or naturopaths or doctors, like this is something
we've all got something to learn.
Absolutely. And then there's going to be a few new speakers there as well that, again, naturopaths don't see so often, that maybe the pharmacy side of people have seen more often, that I'm actually just really, it's a bit like when you go to Blues Fest and you know who the headline acts are that you're going to see. But one of the best things you can do at Blues Fest is just wander over to one of the stages where you've never heard of that artist, and you will come away going, oh my God, they are so good. New favorite. So that's going to be something I'm looking forward to as well.
I completely agree with everything you just said. And in fact, everything you've said in this entire conversation. And I can't wait to learn more from you on the stage. And I can't wait for this, long awaited and much missed sense of connection that everyone is really looking forward to, just being together, sharing our energy, sharing our wisdom, learning from each other, and just coming away with our cups of love nicely topped up. So I can't thank you enough for agreeing to come, and I'm so looking forward to seeing you in Hobart in October at the Women of the New World Symposium. We'll see you then, Jules. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I cannot wait.
Thanks.